issue today. We will present a number of news that happened today, which will accompany you this afternoon, including Biden giving you sanction of the Russian government.
We will also present other news related to event happening in the world. At this time, with my father Aditya and Kurnia Pramudia, this is breaking news.
Viewers, we enter to the first news. US imposes new sanction of Russian government. US President Joe Biden called Russia attack on Ukraine a premeditated attack and imposed a new set of sanctions against the Red Bear Nation. At a press conference at the White House, Thursday, 24 February, hours after Russia invaded Ukraine, President Joe Biden confirmed the imposition of additional sanctions against Russia, but reiterated that American troops will not be involved in a war in Ukraine. Our troops are not and will not be involved in this conflict. Don't go to Europe to fight in Ukraine, but to defend our NATO allies and reserve. Our allies in the East, Biden said. America has about 90,000 troops in Europe, most of whom are stationed in Germany. Biden, who calls Putin an aggressor, outlined a range of sanctions against Russia, including blocking for major banks from the American financial system, including VTB, which has a set of about 250 billion US dollars. The United States has also imposed sanctions on Russian banks, with a set of about $1 trillion, stopped Russian state-owned enterprises from collecting money from European investors, imposed sanctions on more Russian elite and their families with close ties to President Vladimir Putin, and restricted export of advanced technology to Russia, which have of course also cut more than half of Russia's import of advanced technology.
1/3 of Russia's banking assets by itself cut it off from the U.S. financial system. And today, we're also blocking 4 more major banks. That means every asset they have in America will be frozen.
In a press conference held by Biden, he said that we will impose additional sanctions in the form of freezing for major Russian banks located in America.
Okay, on to the next news. Putin orders nuclear forces on Russia-Ukraine border. Russian President Vladimir Putin ordered his defensive on Sunday, 27 February, to deploy deterrence, which includes the country's nuclear arsenal, accusing the of West being unfriendly. Russia has the world's largest arsenal of nuclear weapons and a number of ballistic missiles that form the backbone of its deterrence force. I ordered the defense minister and the chief of the general staff of the Russian armed forces to put the deterrence forces of the Russian army into special combat mode, Putin said. You see, the Western countries are not only unfriendly to our country and on the economic front. I mean, sanctions are illegal, he said in the television address. Putin also said senior NATO official had launched aggressive statement against Russia. Putin had ordered a military operation in Ukraine on Thursday, 24 February, which shocks the international community. Russian troops have stepped in from the north, east, and south, but are facing fierce resistance from Ukraine that may surprise Russia. Ukraine claims to have captured about 200 Russian soldiers, some of whom are 19 years old, untrained, and poorly armed.
Видите, что западные страны предпринимают не только недружественные действия в отношении нашей страны в экономической сфере, я имею в виду нелегитимные санкции, о которых все хорошо знают, но высшие должностные лица ведущих стран НАТО допускают и агрессивные высказывания в адрес нашей страны. Поэтому приказываю министру обороны и начальнику генерального штаба перевести силы сдерживания российской армии в режим.
Yes, viewers, this time we will broadcast stock market news.
Thank you. No market panic, oil vitality. There is any panic. It's important to emphasize that despite the fact that U.S. equity factor are down more than 2%. Whether you look the Nasdaq or SP 500, a minute features are down more than 2 today, and yet there are higher than when the inflation start on Thursday. So overall, we are not saying panic across. We are only saying oil prices up about 5% signs. The inflation start, yes, is big move, but not crazy out there. No, it's important to emphasize that at the moment there is a lot of confusion, and the situation is evolving very rapidly. And the situation is evolving very rapidly just over the weekend, with the freezing of CBRS account, and also some bank being entered blocked from SWIFT system. We are worried about finding market. Today we are worried what might be the follow through on that. But overall, I don't think there is a panic out there. And I think that market we will soon look beyond this. Soon look beyond this with low confidence. I like a very low quantification. I actually think market will trade here this week, as realized the recent blow from the economic side is not very large. The main impact of Russia on the world economy is through commodities, and at the moment they are actuated from the sanction, and they are absent. And I wonder how the development on the ground in Ukraine might influence that view, whether we see the various protagonists secting to current plans or whether things change drastically. And we got to remember that we have an energy crisis in Europe. We have had an energy crisis in since last summer. We talked about officially Russia have then start in Europe, and this most vulnerable time, and that where it thought it had a lot of leverage in negotiation. So we have this backdrop already. The energy crisis in Europe are not going to go away, and that is feeding through to a food price crisis, and obviously the big inflation program. Because underlying fundamental problem have been there for months, they are going to be for the rest this year. They are made worse by this conflict, but the direct economic impact will not be that large outside the commodities avenue. But overall, people are not going to be selling down assets just because of this. Thank you, viewers. I will return it to my colleague Kurnia.
Yes, we will go to the next news, which is sport. I will leave it to my colleague Abu Bakar Ali.
Thank you, Gunia. This is news come from English football. Liverpool have been coordinated champion of the Carabao Cup 2022, beating Chelsea in a penalty shootout in the today final at Wembley Stadium to seal a record 9-3. An end-to-end encounter was ultimately decided from the spot after finishing goals after 30 minutes of extra time, marking the most penalty kicks in a League Cup final. A total of 18,000 football fans were there to a thrilling final with the National Stadium at full capacity for the first time for a domestic cup final since the 2020 Southern starting stopper Colin Kehler was called into action early on as Cesar Azpilicueta slid in Christian Pulisic only for the Irishman to deny the attack the opening goal with the first 5 minutes. At the other end of the pitch, Luis Diaz saw his effort blocked as Sadio Mane skipped past Trev Chalobah to supply his teammate with the goods. Mane himself came close minute later with Trent Alexander-Arnold the creator this time, but the winger glanced wide and Mohamed Salah was off target after Liverpool were awarded a set piece. A super up double save from Edouard Mendy on the half-court mark was the start of the first half. The keeper initially stopped Naby Keita of effort from outside the area before getting fingertip to Mane close range. Follow up to keep the score level. Red shot-stopper Kehler was on hand to save from Kai Havertz, and the goalkeeper was out on again to Danny Pulisic. But it was Azpilicueta who went closer before the halftime with firing narrowly over that bar from 25 yards out. The two teams entered the break in a statement 5 minutes into the second period. Mason Mount read the post. Pulisic picked out the midfielder one-on-one with Chelsea keeper Mendy, but the England international effort crashed into the outbreak. Joel Matip hit the ball in the back of the net in the 67th minute, only for the defender header to be reloaded out with Virgil van Dijk adjust to be in an offset position. Opportunity came knock for Liverpool with Diaz, who break free down the left channel, then by the legs of Mendy. And it was Chelsea this time who saw a goal struck off. Havertz took he had broke the deadlock for Chelsea, but the flag was up against the German. Heading into the dying moment of the final, Alexander-Arnold corner was made by Van Dijk, who thought above the rest of win the header, but the effort drew an injury time save from Mendy to take the clash to extra time. Within the space of the next 30 minutes, Lukaku reached the net before the strike was ruled offside, and Havertz collaboration at the opposite side of the interval were cut short by the flag, and it all came down to penalty in front of the travelling Merseyside continent. James Milner, Fabinho, Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Salah, Diego Jota, Divock Origi, Robertson, Harvey Elliott, Ibrahima Konate, and stopper Kehler all dispatched from 12 yards, with the red goalkeeper netting the critical kick of the game to win it for the Reds. Yes, that's all the sport news this time. Let's return into my colleague Fada and Kurnia.
The sport information just closed our meeting this time. Representing my colleague Fada Ridya.
And Kurnia Pramudia, thank you for attention and togetherness. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes.